After you get out of the cold water, say if you've been in the water and it's like 35 or 36, right, degrees Fahrenheit, and you come out of the water and you dry off, like 10 minutes later, you feel a cold drop. So all the blood that was, say your body constricts, right? So it limits blood back to your core. So like that's why you kind of go numb, like it's trying to save the heat for your core. So once the blood starts getting recycled into your body, your capillaries start opening, you get really cold and you like start shivering. You're like, right? And you feel really weird. You feel like you shouldn't drive because you just like, all your brain is like trying to process what you did. So you have this kind of debate with your brain saying, you're going to be fine. You just have to move around. Like you don't want to get in the sauna. You want to move around and just get warmer and you'll feel fine afterwards. But it definitely feels like a weird, like entering a different dimension for a moment because you're just like, you're kind of tweaked. Maybe that's my attraction to it too. Like besides being in the water and you're swimming, you know, and you're like, oh, wow, it's really cold. I'm swimming freestyle. I'm looking at the sky. I'm looking at the sun. I'm looking at the horizon. I'm looking at the bottom. Oh, there's some fish. There's some seaweed. And then you're like, oh, I'm getting cold. And then like, say 5 minutes have gone by. You're like, oh, I'm actually getting cold. I should go in because like it's harder to kick. We're not too far away from the beach, but once you come in, you feel like really ecstatic. I don't know. I'm not claiming that it's like healthy or anything. It's really fun though. It's like just to know you can do it, you know. I'm not pushing it though, but there's people I know who push it, like they'll swim a mile, which is like over 25 minutes, right?
In the cold
water.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
And that's like that seems like you have to have an apparatus of some type of safety apparatus around, like people.
People. A boat maybe.
A boat, like you have to do a lot of things different than we're doing.
And also go really fast. You're like building up heat, you know, like I just imagine submersing your face, like just doing a duck dive in the winter is like painful, you know?
Yeah, it's shocking. It is shocking.
Right. Well, so you have all these different crafts that you use. What do you get when you change crafts? Like, is it just for a different feeling? Like,
oh yeah,
you seem to enjoy all of it.
It's a different feeling. It's a different like everything. The sound is different. The sense of quote speed, if speed's a factor, like how you're traveling over the surface is different. The closer you are, it feels faster, whatever that means, you know, more kind of sensual. And this might sound strange talking about something called a surf mat, but surf mats are really fun, as you know.
So fun, yeah.
And it's like really kind of sensual. Like you can, maybe sensual is the wrong word. It's just really connected to be like on this thing that's, you can bend and shape and you can tuck into waves or you could get ahead of the wave.
Oh, it's great.
You know, it's just such a fun feeling.
Yeah.
And so unusual.
You cannot not smile when you're mat surfing. You cannot not giggle. It's just goofy as hell and so much fun.
Exactly. It's so much fun. It's super goofy and it can have really great results, you know, like for getting down the line on a wave and certain waves. And I'm so glad I started doing that. When I heard about it, I was like, I want to try that. When I first tried it, I was like, this is really hard. When I first tried it, and I was like, oh, and then I did it for a long time, like consistently, and I really loved it. And then I would be doing that would be my main thing, and people would always be wondering, what are you doing?
People always asking me.
Yeah, like it wasn't in the news. It wasn't like it was hard to get one at this point.
Right.
But I think it's I always travel with one when I go anywhere. Like
it's great to travel with. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah. My only fear of taking it out into big waves that aren't my home break, or even in my home break, is that it doesn't come with a leash. And it's so easy to kind of like when you're in the tumble to kind of lose it. But otherwise, it's so easy to travel with because it, deflate it, except for the flippers. Sometimes they weigh a lot when you travel.
There was a person who made these fins that were, I forgot what they're called, but I have
a pair of them somewhere.
No, they're inflatable. That'd be cool. No, they're just flat and there's like nylon webbing that attaches your foot to the blade. Wow. So they pack like a notebook.
Wow, that's so cool.
They didn't work so well. That was the thing. Like, because they were so flat, like when you kick, the blades would move this way too. Like,
right.
It was an interesting idea.
That sounds so good. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You really show us a different way of interacting with the ocean, and I think that is so valuable. People just take surfing so seriously, and it can give you so much more.
That's awesome. Thank you, Karen.